Hey, it's Cliff, and I've been seeing a lot of different kind of social media influencers. Just this past year, they are riding around their Bugattis, their Lamborghinis, showing off all of their wealth, all of this just crazy nonsense. And I wouldn't be hating on them so much if they weren't so egotistical and promoting this lifestyle of, look at me, I have all this wealth and all that comes with it, and there's no downside to any of this. I see that a lot with people like Andrew Tate was a big one. You see it with famous YouTubers like Wes Watson. They focus all their time on making money. Everything is about money. All of it is just about money. Sorry if I sound a little weird. I have a cold. It's coming on, but not a big deal. Now, I'm not hating on people that have money. I think that's great. You should definitely strive to have a big enough income that a lot of the pressures of life are being taken away. You want to have enough money that you're stress-free, you can get by, you can provide for your family, you want to, buy all the things that you want and, live a good life. But I just want people to consider that as you're being sold this dream to go off and make all this money, and if you get the Bugatti, you're gonna get all these women, and everything is gonna be perfectly great. I don't think that's really what happiness is in life, is just getting the Ferrari. Sure, it'd be fun for a while, but eventually it's just gonna be a car to you. So specifically, I think one of the big things that they don't tell you is that when you do become wealthy at this level, you become really unrelatable. And if you're somebody that is looking to fire, financial independence, retire early, maybe that's something that you might want to consider going forward, is that you might be completely unrelatable to these people, which could be fine. That could be the goal. You want to be the outlier that retires early, that's fine, but you kind of have to prepare yourself mentally that you're not going to be relatable to most of these people. Now, I'm not someone who drives a Bugatti or anything crazy like that. I've just been able to save money from my working history, and I've been retired for the most part of a year, just, enjoying life, which has been great. I wake up, I can go outside here, I can drink my coffee, I can let my dog play, you see him in the yard. It's really a good deal. But I can tell you, just from living that life, not really having those responsibilities, most people will not relate to you. They're getting up and they're going to a job that most people hate. They have these issues that come with working, and maybe they're not getting by. They don't have enough money. They're struggling, and they're going to look at you, and they're going to just not be able to relate to you. They're not going to be able to relate to you because you are kind of doing your own thing. The conversations that you're going to have with everyday people is probably going to get weird. There's going to be some situations where maybe someone is older, they're in their 60s or older, and they're still working because they don't have money to save. And if they see you and you're a young guy and you're retired, they're probably going to be angry with you. And it's probably angry at themselves, angry at the world, angry that you get to stay home, and it's going to be irrational, but you're going to have to deal with it. People are going to be mad at you. They're going to probably hate you just because of some of the success that you've had. I can tell you just from myself, after a year, I decided that I was going to go back to work. I'm not going to get into crazy details of that, but the idea is just that I wanted to buy a house. My FIRE number probably wouldn't support that, so I'm going to go back to work, buy the house, and hopefully be able to pay off for a house, down the line. So I can tell you, for me, going back to work is a big change, from staying at home, just pretty much doing whatever I wanted. It was a big change, go back to work, have to deal with the commute. Could be like an hour in the car, aggressive traffic, dealing with people that are just angry because they're in the cycle of working. You put on the fancy clothes, you got the new dress shoes that are awful. They're gonna give you blisters and terrible. And even that, just me trying to relate that to people, and they get angry because they look at you like well, you haven't experienced this for a year, you're complaining about this stuff, and you're coming from a place of privilege, and that makes them mad. And it's true. You are, in a way, coming to them at a place of privilege because they've been grinding out this entire time. You're just returning to the workforce. I can tell you the conversations that I was having with people was just trying to be relatable. Like, oh yeah, I'm going back to work, dealing with this. The car commutes are terrible, and even then, they're still not happy with you. So I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm still gonna invest as much as I can, achieve, financial independence again, retire early. I'm hopefully gonna pay off the house, all this stuff. My financial plans are always gonna be the same because I know that's what I want for myself. But just looking into that little experience of what it's like to be retired, I just want to put that out there. You see all these influencers and how amazing it is, but I think in a way it could also be isolating because you're not going to relate to these people. The kind of issues that you're going to have are probably going to seem trivial because you're not grinding it out every day, reporting to a boss. There's going to be a little bit of friction there for sure. One thing I can tell you is that going back to work made me realize that I do want to achieve financial independence. And people might ask, like, why, if you love financial independence so much, why did you go back to work? And honestly, I think a lot of it was the anxiety. I kept thinking, like, what if another world incident happens again and you see crazy inflation? Like, maybe I wouldn't be able to withstand that. And then I'd be trying to go back to work during an incident like that, and I wouldn't be able to. So I think having a little bit more cushion was better. Definitely buying a house and taking the rent out of my budget would definitely free up a lot of income to make things seem just a little bit more safer. And another thing I was thinking about, I'm young now. I can still work. When I'm older, I probably will not be able to work. I won't have the option to go back and, if I do need more money, to fix any kind of issue that I have in my budget. So I should probably do it now. The plan should be work out the numbers now and hopefully hit over my FIRE number to be really secure, especially if you don't have a house. If you don't have a house, all you got to do is pay your insurance, property taxes. That's going to be pretty cheap, depending on how much you save. It's definitely cheaper than paying rent. It's just going to take some time to get there. And that was the whole point. I was looking at like natural disaster, something like that hits. Inflation comes at you another 30%. Like, how's that going to look? So I want to protect myself now before I'm too old, and then I don't have the option to go back to work. I figure grind it out, maybe 5-10 more years. Try to find a job that is flexible and doesn't create you any issues so you can make that money to pay off the house and just kind of go from there. So yeah, this is a financial channel. I want everybody to make a lot of money. I want them to save a lot of money, but I don't want them to look at these social media guys who think the solution to everything is just have a lot of money and that's going to make you happy. Everybody's going to like you. No, you're probably not going to be relatable to people. You're probably not going to build those connections with people anymore. You're not going to be in a position where you're just relatable. When I think about my time in the military, most of the best friendships that you were making in the military is because you were trauma bonding about how much it sucked. Just being realistic, like you were trauma bonding on being deployed to some place that was terrible, and you made great friends because you were in the suck together. But when you quit working, you're not going to have those relationships anymore. So you have to think of other ways to relate to people. Anyway, that's my weekly rant. Hopefully this was helpful. And as always, thank you all for watching.